We're back. Let's go. Players, coaches, fans young and old from across the globe, welcome to the Week 12 recap show of the Bigs. As always, I'm your host, I'm your commissioner, I am Team Westside, and it is always my goddamn honor to be here with you all. Say it with me, recapping the greatest league in the world. Yes, week 12 done. See you later. Another Hillroy in the books. What happened this week? How did we get here? The season refuses to quit, chugging along. Happy 2023. And who jumped out to a hot little dub? And who is still in the basement? We'll find out. No spoilers. So, what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that one streak continued. One streak was snapped. And we are now square dancing. Yeah, we are teams of two. What does that mean? Well, we got two teams at 8-4, no spoilers. Two teams at 6-6, no spoilers. And two teams in the doghouse together at 4-8, no spoilers. But first, let's get right into it. Oh, quick little housekeeping note that I wrote down so I wouldn't forget it. Week 15. At the end of week 15 at 11:59 and 59 seconds of week 15, that Sunday is our trade deadline. When that calendar flips over to week 16, no more trades. Locked in. Just letting everyone know right here, right now. Still got a couple weeks if you want to tinker still. Where was I? Who are we starting with this week? Well, we're starting with a team. A squad, as he likes to call himself, that I have been banging the drums, carrying the water up and down the hill for this team since day one. And he did it to me dirty last week. But this week, back-to-back weeks of taking down the number one seeds. Yeah, I'm talking about the Burt Macklin squad, 197.6 over the first place Breakfast Club, 192.3. Skid, streak, whatever you want to call it from the club, snapped at the hands of Jacoby. Well done, kiddo. As I said, huge past 2 weeks. Listen, he was at 4-6, down in the dumps with the other losers. And he had the two toughest, on paper, the two toughest tests up next. And what did he do? He barreled down. Barreled down? He got to fucking work and just went 2-0 to bring himself back to 6-6 on the season, tied for third place, alive and well. Well done, Jacoby. He did have to fight off a huge comeback from the pesky Breakfast Club. Tuesday to Thursday, Jacoby was flying high, 129.4 to 85.2. But then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday was all Le Champier. Jacoby was outscored 107 to 68.2. But luckily, it was just enough to hold on to the victory, squeak out a big win, and snap Larry's 6-game streak. How'd he do it? Well, as I just said, Jake won the first 3 days because it was a shorter week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then Larry won the big weekend slate, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Did not matter. You know why? Because he had Brandon Montour, 17.1 points leading the way. Alexander the Great, look at my empire, Ovechkin, 17 points. And Rupe Hintz, 15.2. Those were his top three. His goalies, they did what they needed to do. 4-2-1 for 35.3 points. Well done. Stick taps all around. I mean, you look at the top go-getters. There's names like Ottinger, J-Rob, McDaddy, Ovi, Jimmy Stu, Cale Makar. But Brandon Montour, with his 17 penalty minutes, helps catapult Jacoby to the win. Love to see that. Gets it done in all three phases, this guy. And he was able to inch out Larry in every phase of the game. On offense, Jacoby's squad had 162.3 points. Larry's had 161.9. And Jake's goalies, 35.3 points, as I said, to Larry's 30.4. So didn't matter which way you slice it, Jacoby would not be denied up and down the ice. He won this week. Big win. Big win for Jacoby. Big couple wins. If he had beaten me last week and then falls apart and lays an egg to Larry this week, this would have been a different tune. But he takes care of his business. Thank you for that. We'll see if I can take care of mine. No spoilers. Laurent Pierre, as I mentioned, your 6-game win streak was snapped. Even McDaddy, Connor McDavid, you don't get a nickname when you lose. His 19.2 points led your team, but was not good enough. Followed up by Braden Point, 15.0 points, and Teemu Meyer, 14.4 points. Your goalie's good, not great. Average at best, let's say. 3-3 for 30.4 points. Kind of repeating myself right now when it comes to Larry, because it's hard to knock a guy who's 8-4, who just went around the world and back. You had to lose eventually. But if there was one glaring, I gotta find something of weakness in this team that almost came back. One big glaring oopsie daisy was Jake Gensel. Averaged over 3 games, 21 minutes of ice time, and came up with 1.8 total points on the week. You lose by 5.5 points. And with an hour's worth of ice time, he can't do more than a penalty and a couple block shots. Jake Gensel, weak link. But the Jakes sticking together. Jakey Gens was, hey Jake, I know you need a win. Let's move on. Let's move on to who this game helped out the most. Yep! Talking about your boy. I'm talking about the commish. I'm talking about the 195.4 Timmy West Side squad that beats up on the comeback kid who had 148.9 points. Finally. Jake's win. What did I say? Jake's win. Back to tie for first. Yes. I am now 8-4. Larry's 8-4. Toe-to-toe till the end, my friend. The Boutin brothers. Stick taps to both of you. Jacoby, as I said, thank you very much. And Chris, thanks for laying the biggest fucking goose egg there ever was. Yep, I beat his team 4 out of 6 days, and it was finally I got a win against Bootsy, who had gone 2-0 over me this year already. The win was textbook Timbo. This is how my team was built from day one. You've heard me say it. Goalies will lead the way for me. Jake Ottinger. The Jakes are coming up a lot this week. The week of the Jake. 22.8 points. Highest in the league of all the NHLers. He led the way for my team. Followed up by Connor Hellebuck. 15.1. And Marcus Scheifele. 14 points. My goalies leading the way. And one of my only 11 ad drops. Mark Scheifele. What a pickup. Well done, kiddo. My goalies went 6-1, 46.4 points on the week. The best goaltending squadron in the league this week. That's all I really wrote about my team, because I said all along how I started this whole spiel. One-dimensional. And does it scare me that I have the second lowest goal total and I'm tied for the lowest assist total? Does that scare me? It does. because we know how the goaltendings can be, the goaltending matchups. Sometimes the real life coaches, they play tricks on us, and I'm gonna live and die by this fucking sword. And when it's in my hand and I'm feeling good, I'm racking up wins. But if there's a week come playoff time when maybe the goalies have an extra day off, that's where I'm extremely vulnerable. But if shut up, Kenny, I'll get to you. Talk on my phone. Ifs and buts are candy and nuts. Right now, let's take the wins when I can get them. The goaltending's doing what they do best. Bootsy, I hope you and your team had a great vacation. Ken, stop! Hope your team had a good vacation along there with you in North Carolina because they were a goddamn no-show. A little bit of a comeback down to earth week for Bootsy. Clearly, 148.9 points was the lowest total of the week this week. And this is coming off 4 straight weeks where he had 200 plus points or more. As you remember, he only went 2-2 during that stretch. I know that he knows that. I know that he wishes he could have scratched across another dub or two. Regardless, this was not even close. And it's evident when you look at his top 3. Zachary Hyman, 13.2 points. Jason Robertson, 13 points. And Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 10.2. Quick math guy here. When your top 3 have a combined 36.4 points, not going to get it done. And it just, only 4 players in his entire 22-man roster had 10 points or more this week. So as I said, hope they were out there golfing with you, getting some new clubs, taking the time off. They had played well, and they earned this nice week off, and we thank you for that, Bootsy. Kind of touching back. Shove it back. I wonder, having gone on that nice stretch of offensive outputs, 4 weeks, nice month, over 200 points, and then this follows up with a wah-wah of a game. I wonder if his spirit may be a little broken. You know, X's and O's, the numbers tell a lot, but I wonder what the feelings are right now in that locker room. They cannot catch a break. And it's just like, well, like, why even try? If we put up 200 points, they were still losing games. So it's like, like, what's the point? I wonder if his spirit is a little bit broken right now. And doing some digging, Jacoby, as I'd said, who is 6-6, good enough for 3rd place in the league, has a goal plus minus point total, however you want to call it, differential of minus 1.7 points. So it makes perfect sense that his team is exactly 600. Bootsy, whose team is not 600, 500, has a plus minus point differential of minus 12.5. So just 10 points in between Jake, who's in 3rd, and Bootsy, who's in last. It's gotta sting. It's gotta be deflating. Sometimes that's the luck of the draw. We've all been there. Let's move on to the last game of the week. Yes, Ken, now I can talk to you. Jesus. But first, we got to talk about the Borland Backhanders. 208.1 points for the men in plaid over the Rubber Puckies, who had 167. A big bounce back week for the Portland Backhanders. As you remember last week, he was the lowest point total, but this week he's the highest and the only team to crack the 200-point marker. Well done, cuz. Um, Highest scoring offense this week was 168.2, and secondary scoring, as I just mentioned, what Chris's team did not have. Shauner's team had 10 skaters, players, roster members, don in the plaid with 10 points or more. That's getting help up and down the lineup, all four lines doing their job. His top three was Jimmy Stu, 17.8 points. Cam Talbot, 17 points. The Senators sticking together for your top two. And Eric Gustafson rounds out his top three with 16.4 points. Now, this is where I love this. As commish, it's my job to have a pulse on the entire league. That's why I'm here every Monday. But I don't get the inside scoop in that locker room, how the boys are feeling. Are they coming to the rink groggy, excited? Are they juiced up, ready to go? Or is this a week where we got another slate to go? What's the temperature in that locker room? And the coach, Mr. Blanche, he texts me last night. He says, hey, commish, you know what? I just want to let you know sometimes the points, they don't tell the whole story. Yes, Eric Gustafson, 16.4 points. How you doing? Well done. But he said that's just half the story. That the guys in the locker room, they were pulling for this guy when his D partner, John Carlson, went down and he was out until March. Number one D on his squad. Everyone's kind of looking around at each other. Who's going to step up, boys? And Eric Gustafson. Did I say Carlson earlier? Doesn't matter. He's playing just as well as Carlson, who is his top defenseman. Rounds it out. Eric. Another Eric. Led by the Erics. A lot of names going. He steps up and goes, hey, boys, my guy just went down. I got him. I got you. This will not be the iceberg that sinks this ship. And what's he do when in his first week? I'm getting goosebumps. I'm getting fired up. His first week, called up, number one D pairing, 16 points. How you doing? When he comes into the locker room on Sunday, the boys are giving him the water bukkake. Love that shit. I need that. I need that kind of notes, that inner workings of a team. That's what makes this league. That's what makes this show great. His goalies went 5-3. Well done. For 39.9 points. Good job, Portland Backhanders. Now, we get to Mr. Ryan Perrin. RP. The Rubber Bunkies. 167.4 points. This is the streak that continues. His 6-game losing streak is not snapped. He's now got 7 weeks in a row with a loss. I don't know what it is, though. The hockey gods, they're giving you these lifelines after lifelines because you're not last. You're 4-8. You're playing the worst hockey in the league right now. But you're not in the bowl. Bootsy is. The gods have still been on your favor. They refuse to let you drown. They're giving you every reason not to give up. Ken Dog, even though he lost by almost 40 points, he actually rallied huge. Let me bring up my notes here, so I'm not always looking down. Wednesday. After Wednesday night, you were down 75.6 to 39.2. No one would have blamed you right there for packing in, being like, another loss. But then you bounce back on Thursday night with a 60 burger of your own and you pull the game even. Connor at the end of Wednesday, at the end of Thursday, was at 99.9 points. You're at 99.7 points. Let's go. Let's snap the streak. Let's get back on track. No. You were outscored each of the last 3 days. Encapsulated, stamped by a 67.9 Saturday 9. Did I just have a stroke? 67.9 night on Saturday for the Borland Backhanders. That's better English. What can you do? You rally, you fight, you claw, you scratch so hard to get back in the game, and then Challoner just drops a nuke on your fucking forehead. Just like Pootsie, look at your top 3. Cale Makar, 13 points. Matty Tkachuk, 12.2. Joe Pavelski, 11.6. I don't know what that adds up to. Probably just like Pootsie, when your top 3 gets you 35 points, 36.8 points to be exact, it's just not good enough. And your goalies went 3-2-2 for 27.6 points, and it's perfectly summed up by your actions on Sunday night. The man, we were doing segments on this kid. We thought, are you kidding me? The champ is gonna run out of the gates with this guy out of nowhere. Mr. Southie himself, Carter Hart. Clock struck midnight on New Year's and on Carter Hart, because he now finds himself without a job. Yes, he has been dropped by the Rubber Puckies, and that just sums up your last 7 weeks. And yet you're not last. Suck on that, Bootsy. Woo! That's all I've got for you guys on the Week 12 recap. Let's take a quick look ahead. Today, the game is going on right now at Fenway Park. We got the Borland Backhanders. Oddest team last week, 208 points. Taking on Timmy Westside. Then we got the Brother Bowl. Oh, this is the faux family week. We got Cousin Combo Bowl, the Brother Bowl, and then the future brother-in-law wannabe Cousin Combo Bowl. Love it. Can he go shock the world this week? Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. 8-4 or Breakfast Clubs. You're going into their house, struggling, dropped a million games in a row. Go fucking win this one. Pert Macklin, the comeback kid. Chris needs a big win. In the worst way. It doesn't matter if he scores 9 points this week, as long as Jake scores 8. But Jacoby, you put a win this week, you're back over 500. We'll tune in next week. I've run out of things to say. Boop.